Hey everybody, welcome back to the Art of Awesomeness podcast with Adrian, Kiswani, and his co-host Christian Caito. Christian Caito, thank you for joining. Thank you, Christian. Very charismatic. Thank you. I think so too. So we have some interesting news. As you can see, it's a new setup, courtesy of Adrian's room.
Yeah.
And new backdrop, new everything. So Adrian, I think it looks really good.
Thanks.
Yes, props to you because this is truly masterpiece at its finest.
It's absolutely 100% legit.
Yeah. Legit.
Yeah.
It's a new setup now where it's a bit more casual, where it's kind of facing you guys, but we can still like talk like as if we're on a balcony and we're just looking out towards the view.
That's
but
an
we're
interesting
still
way to
talking
put
each
it.
other.
Balcony talk.
And we have this fireplace going. Maybe sometimes we can.
Yeah, maybe
make
if
sure
the
it's
power
lit.
won't go out, we'll plug it in.
Yeah,
it's not
fingers
real.
crossed. Well, you have to dispose the real part.
Yeah,
That's
well,
okay.
It's not really that much a secret. It doesn't even look
We
like
have a
one.
very, very good podcast episode today. Also,
Basically,
wait.
Oh.
First, before we get to that, we just like to address last week or this week? This week.
Whoa.
When they watch it, it already came out. By the time you're watching this last Wednesday, we went on the Among Wolves with podcast with
Among Wolves podcast with David and Neil. They are really cool guys. We had a whole conversation. Basically, they're Catholics, we're Christians, so we went over some of our differences and had a discussion about it. And I think it went pretty well.
Just some questions we had.
Yeah, basically they wanted us to point out some Catholic misconceptions. Some of them were, misconceptions that they were able to kind of go over in some depth, and we were able to learn and, kind of grasp some knowledge, I guess, on what their faith is all about. So yeah, you can definitely catch that episode that we did with them on their podcast.
In the description.
It's on Spotify. It's not on YouTube. So
yeah. Oh yeah, they're not.
Yeah, don't go looking for it there. It's on Spotify.
It's up. The link will be down below. Check them out. Really cool guys. If you guys are watching this, thanks again for having us on. It was really educational. And it was really fun having to be on someone else's podcast for the first time.
Yeah, that was a really cool experience. Because we're always doing the.
Yeah, now we were on theirs.
Yeah.
But now we're still pumping one out for you guys.
Yeah.
So.
But we're still Christians. Okay,
but we're still Buddhist.
Yeah, we're actually converting to Islam, guys. So,
Sorry
about that.
He is Islam. I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
Jewish boy.
So we really hate each other.
Jewish boy.
Jewish
boy. National days. Oh, wait. I just ruined it. Boo.
First order of business.
Is... You want me to say it?
Yeah, because I don't have them memorized
National
at all.
days. Happy National Black Forest Cake Day. Black Forest Cake Day, if you don't know, it's just really... It's like cake, but it's like... It's really dark and as moist as a forest.
Is moist as a forest.
I don't know what actually Black Forest cake is.
That's a pretty... I like that description.
I just imagine it's something like dark chocolate and it's just really like... Maybe a lot like...
Is there a picture
center.
on there? Do you see it?
Yeah, we can try that.
How does it look?
So I'm clicking the link right now.
Fair enough.
And it's
Take
loading.
your
Oh, it
time.
is cake. Okay. You guys...
Well, I would hope so, right? The cake's in
It is
the
cake,
name.
but I don't know if you guys can see that those that are watching.
Wait, can I say that real quick?
You can just search up... Look at what the ingredients are.
All right, I'll read it off. One sec. Okay.
Adrian, what are the ingredients?
It says most often bakers layer several layers of chocolate cake with whipped cream and cherries between each layer to make Black Forest cake. Then they decorate the cake with whipped cream, maraschino cherries, and chocolate shavings. Some traditional recipes call for sour cherries. I didn't even know that was a thing. Between layers of a clear liquor distilled from tart cherries. So different kinds of cherries here. To be added to the cake. In the United States, bakers usually do not use alcohol. However, in Germany, the liquor is mandatory ingredient. Otherwise, the cake cannot be legally sold under Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte.
So they have to use alcohol? Sometimes?
I guess, yeah. If you're German, I'm so sorry about that. I don't speak Deutsch.
That's Adrian's take on a German name. Here's the thing. I don't know about you, but I don't hate cherries, but I don't like cherries like in desserts. I don't like fruit in desserts in particular, except if it's pie, like banana cream pie. Is
I think I've talked about this before, where it's like I think it was the fruitcake thing.
I've never had fruitcake.
Yeah, me neither. But I mean, it was in one of our holiday episodes where we were talking about fruitcake, and I was saying, if you're gonna eat something unhealthy already, like don't try and insert fruit. Like just go all the way.
Fruit in it.
Like if you're gonna sit here and say, look, we're gonna make a cake, but we want to be a little bit healthy, like, and put fruit in it. It's cake.
Okay,
it's
what?
cake.
But
like,
what kind of fruit in it? Because it's like green and red.
yeah,
and
fruit cake. I don't even know if that's fruit. It just looks like.
It doesn't
What
even
does it
look like
like?
fruit.
No, it looks like gemstones just placed in dirt. Like that's what I get.
Well,
from
let's
fruit
see
cake.
what is in fruit cake.
Yeah, I like cherries though. Cherries,
Google says.
like cherries are good if you get like a bag of them in the summertime.
Yeah.
You're just kind of munching on cherries. But I agree with you that like in desserts, it's for specific desserts. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
you know.
This says it's made with candied or dried fruit, nuts, and spices, and optionally soaked in spirits, whatever that is.
Spirits is liquor, I think.
Okay. Well, of course, another thing
We're
drenched
cultured.
in liquor.
Yeah.
Next day is National Something on a Stick Day. So whether that be a corn dog, whether that be s'more or roasting marshmallows,
Kebab or something like that.
kebab, as long as it doesn't even have to be edible, just put it on a stick. Anything. The first thing that comes to your head right now, bam, put it on a stick.
Pig.
Don't even matter if it's a. It doesn't even matter if it's. Doesn't even matter if
Just
it's weird. If it hurts, just put it on a stick. Let me tell you something.
You're telling me I can get a pig?
Put it on a stick.
All
This
right,
is the
will
day
do.
where that's legal.
Hey, I'm down.
Nearly purge.
I will
and
cook that thing.
National Triglycerides Day, which is
Heart disease, you said?
heart disease. Something to do with heart disease. I'm trying to load it up now.
We're
because
real
just now I'm loading it.
professionals.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at because I just wanted to have the national days up, but
Yeah, for
I
sure.
didn't know we were going full depth with it.
Me neither.
But it
actually.
had to try National Triglycerides Day. I think it did have to do something with heart diseases, or something like within the blood vessels of heart disease. The observance serves as a reminder to patients and practitioners to know about the hidden risk of triglycerides. High levels of triglycerides in your blood can be a risk factor for heart disease. Triglycerides are different from cholesterol, though they are both a type of lipid or fat stored in your body. They serve different purposes. While triglycerides store unused calories and give the body energy, cholesterol builds cells and some hormones. So too much of a good thing.
So it's not actually a heart disease, but it causes heart problems, basically.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
You're right. So
Triglycerides.
And it's also another national day,
Noted.
but that is a secret national day.
Yeah, that's a national day we don't necessarily endorse. But hey, if you're
here's
really that
the
curious,
good news. If we get hate for people that search out what the national day is,
yeah,
and they're like, oh, that's what this is, like,
and then they're like, oh, you're against
here's
that.
the thing. But they watch the video. Does it count as a view if they clicked on it?
Yeah, so we ultimately win.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wait, but how? I'm not gonna downplay that.
Yeah,
I'm just
we're
gonna take
just-
that as a dub.
I'm taking that as a win.
So Black Forest cake, something on a stick, National Triglycerides Day,
And something weird.
Snoop
Basically,
Dogg Day.
let's just call it this.
Snoopy.
It's an interesting spice.
It's like la, da, 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 da.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Up next. Are you opening up the theme? I'm opening up the theme.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Woo! Hey guys, we are back with another podcast episode. This is the third one this season, right?
Wait, how am I? Yes,
Right.
it is. Because
Angelo,
23,
Andrew.
24, 20, yeah.
Okay, so funny how the first two we had two people.
Oh, yeah.
But now... Oh, wait, no.
We haven't actually
yeah.
filmed one normal like this in front
Yeah.
of the camera and set
So
up
we're back
in
with
some
this
time.
one. But the topic of this Sunday is
Ooh.
how to not only get through the week, but how to make it a productive and how to make it an effective and awesome week.
Yeah.
So not people, I know for me at least, kind of going into the week, I kind of get caught in the mindset of, oh, I just can't wait for this week to end. Even before, like on Sunday night, I'll be like, oh man, this week.
Just like, shoot.
Like
dude.
having that mindset, like, gosh, this week coming up.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I just need to get through it. I just need to be done. Monday happens, Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. But really, I don't know if you're the same way. Are you the same way?
Yeah, well, I overthink things a lot. So
Ding, ding.
it'll be
That's
that
good. I
sort
do
of
too.
it'll be that sort of a situation where I wouldn't say just Sunday night. I would say that any day throughout the week, I'm already thinking about the next day.
Yeah. Like, what are you
So,
going to do the next day?
Yeah, and I'll go to sleep thinking about that. And I don't think that's really a good thing because you'll end up it'll be that scenario where you're lying in bed awake just kind of staring at the ceiling,
Like, ugh.
thinking, oh, I have to do this tomorrow, and oh, I forgot to do this. So then it's kind of piling up in your head, and usually you're making it out to more than it really is when you're just kind of daydreaming about it, because your mind inflates everything. It's like, if you don't do this, you will die, and it's
like you are going to pass away if you don't take care of this right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't take out the trash tomorrow, you're doomed.
So, God is going to send you to hell. Maybe not that far, but
yeah,
I get it. Like it's
not productive in the sense that if you really want to have a good day tomorrow, you're not going to want to stay up late thinking about it. You're just going to want to get rest so that when you wake up, whatever you have to do, I don't care what it is, you're ready for it. You're like alert.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've struggled with that in the past, and I guess even now, but keeping in mind that what's going to happen is going to happen, and what's not going to happen is not going to happen.
Inevitable.
You leave it be, and then you lay your head down and you go to sleep,
Yeah, it's like inevitable.
Yeah. Don't worry about the inevitable.
Yeah. So that's it. I'm definitely like that. Adrian kind of summarized it perfectly, where it's even before like going to work sometimes, or just waking up.
Yeah.
Even on a day I don't have work, it's just like knowing that I have to be productive.
Right.
But yeah, we're gonna share some of our advice and tips that we kind of stumbled on across the way, and hopefully you guys kind of take this to heart, because you know what, this life is short, and it's a really sad way to live in the long run when you just have a mindset of, man, I just need to get through this week, when you should just make the most of the best of your life.
Yeah.
Especially now in pandemic times. You got to make the best of it. Don't give COVID.
So I got to ask, on your way to work in the morning, because you drive to work, right? Because you go Livermore, I think it is.
No, Tracy.
Oh wait, didn't you go to? Oh, it was Dublin. You went to.
Today I went to Dublin, but I went to Tracy in the morning.
Fair, but on your way to work in the morning when you're driving there, are you thinking anything? Are you listening to music? I mean,
So
like, what do you do on your? I mean, we'll get to the whole waking up thing, but I'm curious as to what your commute to work is like.
So we're kind of starting off small and building off to the week. So
just like simple stuff.
Yeah, bite size. So what I do. Actually, before, maybe a few days ago, I just listened to music, and I've been really into All Time Low. And Sophie's watching this, she knows. But All Time Low is like a punk pop rock kind of band, and they just have they got a lot of good stuff. So lately, I've just been listening to them on the way there, Reckless and the Brave for Baltimore, Nice to Know You, Lost Young Renegades.
So what you're telling me is you don't listen to our podcast on your way to work?
Well, because I already watch it.
So what you're telling me is you don't listen to our podcast.
Okay, when you watch one of our episodes, do you watch it again?
So you're telling me that you
I do
don't listen to one of our... No, I'm joking. But yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I listen to music to pump me up or relax me. But ever since a few days ago, I started listening to this podcast called Life's a Party.
Oh yeah.
With Paul and Ryan, these two guys from South Jersey, and they talk about movies, and they talk about everything, which is pretty cool. And they're pretty funny too. So
that helps.
Yeah, and I reached out to them. I didn't reach out. I was just commenting on one of their videos because they're on YouTube too. They're like us.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool.
And so on Spotify also, and I was
it's always hard to tell. You're like, are you audio, video?
Yeah, which one are you?
Choose.
So I was like, hey, first time listener, and they're like, oh, sweet, appreciate it. So if you guys are watching, I listen to you guys on my way to work, on my way home. But yeah, I listen to their podcast. It's kind of funny, and you learn something new sometimes. And yeah, I listen to, but if I'm not listening to them, I listen to music. Or if I'm in a rush, I just don't listen to everything because it has to load your music first before you go.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. Or I just start and I sing to myself. So alone, so nice to know ya, nice to know ya.
You make your own. You got to make your own radio show.
Yeah. So
Caito Radio.
Caito, yeah, Caito Radio. I know that's an inside thing.
That's an inside joke,
So that's my thing. I know we have intermission coming up in a few moments, but Adrian, just in a quick gist, because we'll come back afterwards. Obviously, we're not gonna leave you hanging at intermission.
I mean, we don't want to leave you guys that soon,
But you walk to work because your work is not mine. Yours is closer. Yours is actually
I'm
very
talking
close.
It's a mile and a half, basically.
Yeah, because you walk there every morning, which is
Yeah.
actually pretty good because you get an exercise too.
Yeah, you know, and I even did this with my interviews too, because walking for me, I mean, even at night when I'm having those thoughts of what I have to do or whatever, I usually just pace in the downstairs of our house. And so walking or running or jogging, any of that for me usually helps clear the mind and dial in on what you really want to focus on. It kind of gets all the excess out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So like my walk to work takes me like 30 minutes maybe.
Okay.
So it's like half an hour to myself where I'm not interacting with anyone. Nothing's really going on. I'm just this nice walk to work.
Yeah.
And like today I took a detour through the creek, you know. I usually don't go that way. Yeah, but you know,
the creek,
you know when you're
the
on
little bridge.
Yeah, well, you know when you're on Central and you're going down kind of towards the high school and then you can turn off into that dirt, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I went, and it was really nice because, you know, it's just this nice scenery, and you know in a minute, you know, people are gonna be yelling at you telling you to do stuff.
So you're just
you know?
taking that time, and that's cool because I think we touch up on that later, but that's cool because not only getting exercise, but you have that time to just clear your head a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
and it's also a present thing, you know, because you're not, when everything around you is so interesting to look at and interact with, you don't really have that desire to wander into the future, you know, in your mind, so to speak. You know, you're really in the moment, and when you're in the moment, you're not anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm walking to work, that's all I'm doing. I'm just walking, looking around. There's no thought.
Like
what
you shut everything
happened.
else
Yeah.
out.
And
It's just
so
you.
for like those 30 minutes, it's like a decompression thing where it's like, okay, you know, in a minute it's going to be high energy, you know, high activity, everything's going to be going on. But right now it's good, and that can help you get into the right headspace to go into those high level kind of situations where you need, you know, to be really present in what you're doing. It kind of gets you in that zone.
Yeah, it sets out like the playing field for what's about to come, as compared to jumping in already, just like
yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna start driving to work pretty soon, but for the time that I have walked to work, which has so far been about 2 weeks, you know, it's been nice to kind of have that time. So yeah,
that was legit.
That was a bit too
That's
legit. Too legit to quit.
Sneak peek of what we're going to talk about right after this intermission. Enjoy the intermission, which we definitely know what it is.
And if you don't enjoy the intermission, then I mean,
if you don't enjoy the intermission, then watch it again. Maybe you'll enjoy it the second time around. And that you're so silly. I just want to I want to cut your nose off and grow it so big where it's 6 foot tall. I want to put it in bed with me, and I just want to whisper as I'm caressing it. You're so silly.
That might be the gayest thing you said.
Nose.
That might be
nose.
The nose.
It's a nose. What's so gay about that?
No.
How's that gay?
Making my nose 6 feet tall, putting it in your bed, and caressing it while whispering.
No, caressing the face, not the whole thing.
So
weirdo.
you're caressing my face.
No, so it's just the nose. I don't want the whole face, just the nose.
I'm lost, dude.
Okay, I cut your nose off and I grow it so it's 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
so it's
I know.
the same height as me. And I take it into bed, but there's no covers. We're just on like a sheetless bed. And I'm not like caressing like the whole length of it, just like the top, like how you caress like a face. And I just want to whisper to it, you're so silly.
But what's the top of a nose?
Huh?
What's the top
so
of a nose?
So to you, it would be like right here.
Okay.
And this is like the bottom where my feet are.
Okay.
And this is the head.
That's so weird.
You're so silly.
Gosh dang.
That was Sayings with Christian.
Yeah.
All right. We are back from the intermission.
Yes.
And we have drinks. We have brisk tea, which Adrian so generously provided for us. Thank you, Mr. Kiswani. I just gulped. And with that gulp, speaking of gulps, we are back from the intermission.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed the intermission. That was like the 10th time the intermission. So, hope you guys enjoyed the intermission. And now before we left off, we kind of talked about... Is that Mr. Fox?
You know what? It was.
It was. Copyright infringement, man.
You know what?
That's why we're banned in some countries.
Yeah, huh?
Mr. Fox.
Iran was just like, nah, man. We can't handle those foxes. way too much.
That's
North Korea was like,
unfortunate.
gotta cut that off.
That was my favorite country. Before we left for intermission, we talked about briefly about how we went about going to our work. So I listen to music / podcast. Recently, Adrian, you go on walks because his work is a lot closer here, and that kind of refreshes you.
Yeah.
Kind of going into it. So now we're just going to more generally talk about how typically we go about our day, and then break that up into further concepts. You want to go first, or want me to go?
I don't know. I guess you want to go back and forth. So I guess I just talked to you. Yeah.
Okay. So So how it starts off. Again, I do my job. I go to work and I listen to my music. I do my job. And because I work with clients, and how it's broken up is also for the kids, but there's several breaks in between, because having them working for too long on drills is, for a kid, it's very tedious. So I always...
For adults too.
Yeah, definitely for adults. So this is alluding to my point in the end. I'm going to give you hints. Hopefully you can guess what I'm about to say later. But I have that to look forward to in my breaks, when my breaks come. And actually, before I go to work, I make a nice lunch.
Nice.
Sourdough, pepper jack, and turkey. Sometimes I'll throw in a Welch's fruit snack if I'm feeling frisky. Load up my water bottle and go to work, listen to music.
Do you don't even fill it up? You load up the water bottle.
I load up the water bottle with water. And gotta hydrate, right? Gotta hydrate. I used to do it with Arizona tea, but that was when I was still training.
Hydration check.
And and then I look forward to lunch because I love my sandwich. So at lunch, I'm gonna enjoy the sandwich. Maybe I'll watch an episode of a show. I've been reading a book that I like to read at lunch a little bit, so I look forward to that.
Nice.
So look forward to that as well. And then when I work with my other client, because there's 2 in one day after lunch, I look forward to sharing a game with him that he previously asked for that was on my phone. And he's been really good. He's made a lot of progress. The game looked fun. I was looking forward to playing it myself. And so the thing, even though the drills are like several hours long, like the session itself,
right,
I still look forward to playing this game with him just because it's fun. And it was a fun game. It's a fun game. It's a fun game.
Nice.
But we play it.
Nice.
And now I look forward to playing that with my client and just hanging out with my client every day and making progress in general. That's something to look forward to.
So then, how long is your break?
I have 2 sessions. The first one's in the morning till 12.
Got it.
And in that increment, I have 1 break.
9 to 12?
It's 9 to 12:30. But in between those times, I have 1 15-minute break. Okay. And then I have 12:30 to 1, which is my lunch. Mm-hmm. And then from 1 to 5 and 1 break in between those 2. So there's 1 break for each session.
So an hour total? Am I right? Like 15, 30? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah. So, and then after that...
It's kind of like little resting points.
Little increments. It's nice. But another thing I look forward to is when I don't make lunch, I go to a little what's the word for it? A taqueria down the street. Oh, the people there are so nice. I like to get this super quesadilla. Steak, quesadilla. Cheese, guacamole.
Dang, that's more than
more cheese.
So you mean tortilla. Like an open faced burrito at this point?
Well, it's still
you mean
crunch.
Okay, got it.
It's flattened down, so it's a queso. But I look forward to that too. And then after work, one thing I look forward to is I like to sometimes I'll get a drink mostly on Fridays. I like to get a drink at Baskin Robbins, a mango smoothie, or get Italian ice. See my friend Rick, see how he's doing. Or come home and make a beautiful grilled cheese and watch an episode of Supernatural with my mom.
Nice.
So I'm just going to say the key point, the whole idea of my thing. Mm-hmm. And then you can say your thing, and then we could just go back and forth again.
Yeah, sure.
So at this point, you might have noticed that there's a lot of things I look forward to in the day that I break up. Even the smallest things. And that's the key thing for me making it a good week. Is having anchors. I said that having anchors is having anchors.
Is it a good idea or is it not?
Is it effective? Out. Am I just repressing stuff? No, definitely not. Yeah. Well, the repressing thing maybe, but it's effective when it comes to the week. I have anchors, and that's
people
something
leave little hotlines in the comment section.
It's like, are you okay? Yeah, that's basically it. Just I've learned that week is long, and it's even longer when you want it to be shorter.
Yeah.
So
Dude.
why not have little things to look forward to on the daily? You know, like for me, it's things like sometimes when I know I'll set myself up when I won't make a lunch. I have something to look forward to in the middle of the day or so. So that's something to keep me going, and that helps me to enjoy it too. Sorry, the tea's coming back up. Yeah, it's just something. It's an anchor because it's there, and it's something to look forward to having. It's something to keep my mind off the fact of when will this day end, and it's just really fun. Yeah, that's. I think we'll talk about that a bit more after Adrian's. But
yeah, when when you say waiting for your day to end, do you mean your work day in specific, or just the day in general? Like you can't just wait to lay your head down, or is it just work?
Yeah, well, I think knowing that I have, because sometimes working with, it's both for school and for work, but for where I work,
right.
The clients can sometimes be, after a while, like a little bit difficult to work with, and that gets on you, but, and also
Christian's
for
just
school.
like in the corner, like squeezing those stress balls, like with both hands.
Yeah,
you're just like,
there's a corner just for RBTs.
Your forearms are just like bulging,
and they're like, oh, this gonna drive me crazy. But yeah, it's especially when you have stuff coming up like tests or exams or appointments, and you're just, I don't know, that for me, I just feel like my first instinct is there's so many things that could go wrong if I get the test wrong, if I miss the appointment, and that just builds up like unnecessary stress too.
Oh yeah.
So I think having something to look forward to every part of the day and every week, which we'll get into later, is important. So anchors for me, we'll touch up on. But Adrian, what are some of the things that keep you growing through the week and having a great week?
Well, through the week, usually what I do is, it's not a set thing for me, so I don't have a time and a date. But if I ever feel like it, I'll just get out my notebook and write anything I want down. I'll just. I'll
get it all out.
Yeah, just 1 or 2 pages of my thoughts. And they're not, and it's nothing profound. It's nothing, these are my journals of my deepest secret. It's just
my sins.
Yeah, it's just what I did throughout the day or what I have to do. Just real matter of fact. Hey, this is what I did at work today. I packaged like 200 of these things, blah, blah, blah. And then, oh yeah, next week I have to package even more. Mm-hmm. Okay, like just so it's out there. And then that usually helps me to put it into perspective and tone it down. Because when you see something written down, it's not this abstract, scary thing in your head anymore. It's just a thing, right? It almost brings it down to earth for you.
Like it's not as big as it is in your head. Because I feel like definitely we as humans, especially us, we blow things out of proportion.
Oh, yeah. And so, I'm trying to think of a good example here. Let's just say that you have to go, like for me, right? I've had to go to the district office a few times. Mm-hmm. And during those times, I never knew I had to go out to fill out paperwork. And I'm not really used to signing that much paperwork in like a small amount of time. So I was worried, man, what if I sign something wrong? What if I, pick the wrong thing or sign up for the wrong thing? And then I realized that's really dumb to worry about. If you're reading it, and there's people there who you can just ask, hey, I don't understand this. Can you help? It's like, it's not a big deal.
You think that's not an option in your head.
Right. But your brain will make you think, no, this is all on you. If you mess this up,
like you're screwed.
Yeah. But the thing is, the reason I use that as an example, you might be thinking, well, that's kind of a dumb example. And that's what I mean. Most of the examples are pretty dumb in reality, right? So, yeah. So
exactly. It is a dumb example.
So, it's dumb because that's how it is. So your brain is gonna, or your mind, it's always gonna, I don't want to say always, but at least for me and you, I know this to be true. And for many people we know, you can often get into this state where you mentally freeze up, where you think, well, I have so much to do, but you don't do any of it,
right.
And that's probably the worst case scenario, because now you're thinking about all the stuff you have to do and you're not doing any of it. So it's just staying there.
Now it's just floating there.
So writing it down for me. So writing it down for me throughout the week is a good reminder of, oh yeah, okay, I have to do this. I know, I'm aware.
Okay.
And then when I get around to doing it, right, because I've given myself that mentality of, you know what, it's not that big a deal. You can just do it. Then I actually tend to do the things that I need to do. And then they're not piling up anymore because I'm actually keeping it in check. And so writing things down in a journal or making a list, checklist is something I do a lot, is just to kind of keep your week in order and in a subjection, you know? So it's not really controlling you. You're saying, look, I know what's going down this week. Yeah. This is how I'm going to go about it. Write up those plans Saturday night or whatever. Go to sleep, rest, and then know that when you wake up in the morning, there's a piece of paper with everything you got to do. And I don't know, like doing little
not
things
keeping
like
that thing in your, not keeping everything in your head.
Yeah, because your head, I mean, your mind can only carry so much information at a time before it feels like it's lead in there explode. And you're about
like in addition to all the stuff you have to do, actually going about the stuff.
Yeah, and here's the thing, there are real stresses in life. So it's not like everything's dumb. I mean, there are some things that are legitimately stressful and that you have to deal with, and you know, they're going to weigh on you. But the unnecessary things, that's just adding more fuel to fire, you know? So your idea is, obviously there are hard things in life. We all know that. But if you can cut out as much of that as you can so that you can actually accurately deal with the real problems better, that works out for everyone, right? Because if you're doing better, that means that the people that you interact with regularly are benefiting from it. You know, if you're doing good at work, that means your coworkers' jobs and days are running smoothly too.
So cut the excess. Yeah,
cut the excess. And the way I do that usually is just throughout the week, jotting things down, writing journals when mine's feeling a little heavy. And yeah.
Okay. So I like that. I might start doing that now.
Yeah. It's
and it doesn't take too long, I imagine, too.
No. And you know what's nice about it is because I haven't made it this regimented thing. It used to be where I would say, okay, at the end of every day, maybe around 8 o'clock at night, I'll sit down and I'll write a page, right? Just a page on anything. But the thing is, sometimes you don't feel like writing because there's nothing really weighing on you.
Yeah.
So you're almost coming up with things just so you can like write a page.
Yeah.
So what I'll do now is, I mean, I still write pretty often because I think a lot, but I'll only write down when I feel like it. When I start getting that feeling in my head
a little bit.
Yeah, when I get that feeling in my head, like, oh, you know, I'm stressing about something right now, I'll just get out. I mean, it's right over there. I'll get out a notebook. I have tons of them, and I'll open it. I mean, it's nothing fancy. It's literally like a spiral bound like school notebook.
Yeah, just a standard.
I'll just get a pen, and it's not hard. You think writing 2 pages, but it just everything flows so natural because you'd be surprised at how once you start writing about what you're thinking about, you can just go on, and then you're like 3 pages in, and you're like, how did I get here? You know, and so it's a nice way of taking, like you said, all that access out, putting it on a paper so it's kind of out of mind, but it's in sight. You know, you still know where it's
like cutting your losses a little bit.
Yeah, and then that allows you to move on with your day better, and I would recommend it.
Yeah, so I like that though, because I think a lot of people just kind of don't take into mind that these things have these things in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
I think that just kind of like as you're trying to get stuff done, you just keep going back to the idea like I still have finish that. Yeah. But remember, you still have this to do. You still got this going on. When you have that a little bit, and it's not like writing down will get rid of the event. Right. But it's like but it'll hopefully relieve some space in your mind so that you can, what I'm hearing is so that you can start doing the things you need to do with a bit more clarity.
Well, yeah, because let's say that you don't write anything down, right? Let's just say that you're purely going off of brain power at the moment. And we go to school, right? We're writing an essay. It's, you know, this is something we do. You're writing an essay.
You write essays in school.
And when you're writing an essay, you really need to be focused on the essay. You know, you can't really be thinking about anything else when you're writing like things about very specific topics with points you have to bring up with proper grammar. You really have to kind of hyper focus on tasks like that. So if you're writing an essay, but then you're also thinking about the test you have tomorrow, not only is your essay not going to be as good, but now you're stressing about it's probably going to take you longer because you're like struggling. You're going back and forth. So now you have less time to study for that test that you actually need to worry about tomorrow.
And it just piles up.
And you just created kind of a roadblock for your productivity in that moment by kind of trying to juggle these things. So what I do is I'll just write down test tomorrow. Study after essay. So then
that's good.
I'll just do the essay. I don't have to remind myself because the paper is right there. I'm not going to forget
That's
it.
good though. That's
know?
like what you were talking about, like having, like cutting your losses and not having to rely on yourself.
Yeah.
Also, that's another thing. Don't rely on yourself because, especially like when you, this is another topic, but like when you say,
It's
I'll
true,
do it
you're
tomorrow,
right,
I'll
you're
do it
right.
tomorrow or blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
Then that version of you is going to put it off. But just don't, and that, I'm not
Yeah.
saying don't rely, I mean like, don't rely on yourself in the sense when you're trying to remember something or be proactive about
You're
something.
not.
Like be smart about how you go about.
Yeah.
Because I think, I like when you're saying like, I'll remember this, just write it down. It doesn't take that
Yeah.
long. Just write it down.
Like swallow your pride and make a list.
When you
know?
if you want
It's
to
just-
do you want to do something, just take baby steps, man. But just don't not do anything about it.
Yeah, because what would be worse is if you thought a lot about things and then didn't do any of them.
Oh, I do that frequently.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, no, for real. But it sucks, right? Because
it sucks.
like for you, right? You're probably thinking about songs in your head. You're probably writing them on your way to work or in the shower.
Yeah,
you have
actually,
song ideas in your
it's
head.
pretty repetitive.
And guess what? Half of them you don't write down. Why? Because you're just, you're
And then I get frustrated later on, like, why didn't I
Yeah.
write that down? Because I remember that being like a good melody.
yeah, and then you forget it, and then guess what? The song never happens. So you thought about it a bunch, you worried about it, and then where is it, right?
Yeah.
So
it's, yeah.
and that sucks. And so like for me or something like that, I'll be writing down an idea, and I'll be like, oh, I'll just put it off, or whatever, or I'll just let things pile up, and so that becomes kind of a back burner event. And then I forgot what I was writing about.
Yeah.
So now it's like I have
So
nothing.
now it's like, what the heck?
So I thought about it, I worried about it, and nothing came
and
of it. So
that's it. I just worried about nothing.
yeah, that's what you don't want to have.
Basically.
Yeah.
But
So yeah,
yeah.
that's what I would say.
So
I
just
do.
writing it down.
yeah,
That's the moral of that story, is just write it down. As you can see, we kind of just expanded it a bit more.
well, yeah,
but
it's just so
in
it
the
makes
sense-
sense, right?
yes,
Because if I
just-
just said write it down, people are gonna be like, write
Phenomenal.
down what?
That is amazing.
I know.
So,
It's fantastic.
I think that's a good way to go about writing it down, because I've been doing that, not a lot, but here and there, like when I have to.
I'd recommend it, dude.
memorize.
I think I think it would help you out for sure.
Definitely. Like
Yeah.
with my clients, there's treatments we have to do, and at first I was like, I'm just going to
I
remember
got
this treatment.
bit today, not tomorrow.
Yeah, not,
Just
yeah,
simple
so
note
like
to
what
self.
no, don't do that.
Don't get bit.
But when I have to remember a treatment, I just just write it down, because it's
Yeah,
just a lot, and the specifics of when it happened, and blah blah blah. But
for sure.
but yeah, that's that. Writing it down, basically, I think, especially even if you're not an overthinker, it just helps to get stuff out of your head,
Yeah.
so you can proceed with your week. And yeah, so the next thing we're going to talk about is kind of broadening. We kind of talked about kind of our routine and the main things we do, but
Mhm.
how can you apply that right now? So let's talk
Basically,
about how to
Some more ideas.
how it's
Yeah.
more applicable. So on the note of on that,
Yeah.
how does this apply to you? So you want to just alternate again, or
Yeah.
because I think we have points too that we can both kind of go off of if we
Yeah.
need to interject. So for mine, having anchors, I not only do I like to have. Here's what I really like though.
Ooh.
Not only do I like to have anchors like daily, but especially like later on in the week. Like I know like the most recent one I can think of is like when Coming to America 2 came out with Eddie Murphy. I saw the first one and I thought it was pretty good, and that movie came out on like a Thursday or a Friday. So I was saying, hey mom, we should watch this. Like it was on the Sunday though of the week when it did come out, and I had work. So I was saying, hey mom, we should watch this. It would be fun. We could just kind of make it like a little movie night and get some popcorn going, and just make it a little quaint. Got some treats
little
and
quaint.
goodies. Yeah, quaint goodies and stuff, and watch the movie and just have a good time. And she's like, yeah, that's cool. And so I was looking forward to that all week. Or when we were visiting family, or there's a date coming up, like I'm looking forward to a camping trip I have with my grandparents in Santa Barbara and some of my
nice.
family coming up
Nice.
in the next few weeks. So that's an anchor for me. So it doesn't always have to be daily.
Like a light at the end of a tunnel,
Yeah.
sort of a thing.
Yeah, so that kind of gets me something to anticipate, and something that you can alternate your anchors to. Like maybe you go every other day or so to get, I don't know, if your deal's like getting coffee or getting a breakfast thing or whatever, or some kind of dessert treat every other day or every other night. Just little things like that. So, it's really dependent on you. But I'd say first start off, kind of put something that you're looking forward to, like pursuing in the future. Maybe that's a movie you want to watch, or visiting an old friend, or trying out a new restaurant, or trying out like walking in a new area and just seeing where that leads, and put that off until later on in the week. And then once you get that done, you can start to branch off into other things like something that's also an anchor, but maybe not as grand as that one. Maybe something is even a bit smaller, like maybe this Wednesday I'm hopping on a group call with some of my friends who we haven't gotten all together, which we should do, by the way.
Yeah.
And maybe that's giving me an anchor because it's Wednesday, hump day.
And that's how things happen.
And that's how it happens. And then break that down even more. Now you have that one into daily, where, I'm really looking forward to trying lunch today in this area, or I'm looking forward to listening to this new album while I'm doing this, or blah, blah, blah. So really just break it up, and don't be afraid to have something to look forward to. And if you're wondering like how far of an anchor can you use, anything can be an anchor. I think it's just the idea of having in the future
checkpoint almost.
Yeah, or having like knowing something's coming up that you're looking forward to. And
because it makes the work you're doing right now, like the harder things, seem a bit more bearable.
Yeah.
When you're doing it for, not necessarily even for, but you're doing it with the knowledge that, hey, after this, once I get this done, I get to do something that I really enjoy much more than this. Yeah.
Yeah, even if it's just a little bit. And it's not always necessarily just to be a distractor, but it's kind of like to help encourage, like, like in this life, really, it's all about the little things that, make you happy. And I feel like these days, especially, I think even with me, I'm guilty of this, but I sometimes lose sight on just enjoying the small things in life anymore. Like when we were kids, when we got ice cream, we're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get ice cream, or we're gonna go play at the park. And now it's just like ice cream, like, oh yeah, okay, oh, you want to go to the park? I'm like, yeah. Where I don't know if that's just naturally as you grow up, but I think I'd like to learn how to rekindle that. So I think having anchors or enjoying that is a way to do that.
Kind of on that note, I saw that this funny meme, or it was when we were kids, and then it showed an ice cream truck. Like that's what you're excited about, and then like as adults, and it showed an Amazon Prime truck. So I was like, truer words have never been spoken.
That's not wrong.
No, it's not. So I think part of it is that it changes when you get older.
Yeah.
But I think what changes isn't the joy. I think what changes is what you're happy about. Yeah. So like the whole ice cream thing, I think. Yeah, maybe ice cream isn't that cool anymore because your right, sweet tooth has kind of gone down. But when you see the Amazon truck, you're like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah. Oh yeah, babe. Yeah, I mean that's like a way in that because that's also true too. Yeah. I just think it's a great way to help remind you just to enjoy the small things in life, and that's why anchors work too, because it's not always necessarily have to be what you enjoyed when you were younger. Yeah. Having an anchor is just something, whatever it is that you enjoy right now.
Like for you, it doesn't have to be as big as a camping trip. It can just be, oh, I'm going to get a drink. Yeah. From, what was it, Baskin Robbins?
Oh yeah, that mango smoothie drink with a banana. Oh yeah, man. Or moo-moos. Oh yeah, moo-moos. But yeah, that's my take on it. It's really simple. Just
Baskin Robbins always finds out.
About what? They don't have 31 flavors.
Really?
I counted. They have like 32 now. 32 and 33 or something. Now they have to change their whole logo because it's not 30. Because the whole thing basis is like 31 flavors.
Yeah, my cousin worked at Baskin Robbins for a while. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, so,
This brought to you by Baskin Robbins, by the way.
They don't even have a song. I've never seen a Baskin Robbins commercial.
You know what? That is the truest thing. Maybe that's why they're always in movies. Do you ever notice that in movies Baskin Robbins comes up a lot?
Yeah, they can afford commercials. Yeah. They can afford movies.
Yeah, that's probably why.
I'm sure if you guys seen a Baskin Robbins commercial, I'd like to. Yeah, but anyway.
Send it our way.
Yeah, let us know if you guys seen that. But that's my thing. Basically, start with something later on the week and work your way in the beginning. And I have another point too, but Adrian, you go. Because mine's just very subtle. And it actually might be your point, so I want you to say yours first.
Oh, sure. Okay. So... yeah, as far as going off what you said about anchors throughout your week, because I guess what I said about my whole journaling thing was just something that I do, not really an anchor, but kind of helps you through the week.
Yeah,
for sure.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I'd say that Yeah, anchors. Probably, honestly, taking time to reflect and not being constantly your mind revolving around everything but what's going on now. So that kind of goes back to what I was talking about with the walk. You know, being very present in the moment is a very beneficial thing when it comes to productivity, because if you're doing something and your mind is only focused on that thing, you're going to be way better at it. You know, if your mind is wandering and, you know, you're thinking about
floating somewhere out there.
If it's doing something other than what your body's doing, something's not right, you know? So you want to yeah. So if I'm working, you know, at work with, you know, my hands and I'm lifting things, I'm opening boxes or whatever, and then my mind's like, dude, but your math though, you know, then
it throws you off your game.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that you're staying in your own game by keeping yourself focused on things that you're doing in the moment and not things that maybe you will be doing or you have done. So you don't want to, because what is it? Depression is when you're thinking about the past. Anxiety is when you're thinking about the future. You don't want either one of those, right? You don't want depression. You don't want anxiety. Like, yeah, you want contentness.
One's happened, one hasn't happened. You can't change it.
Yeah. And so I guess we all kind of have that tendency, right? Once we kind of get into the flow of work and school and that sort of a thing, to where you're really hyper focused on tomorrow at work or tomorrow for school. Yeah. But I feel like sometimes we almost put the overemphasis on tomorrow at school, tomorrow at work, than today at school and today at work. Yeah. You know? And so I feel like, similar to your whole point on the little things, focusing on every moment as it goes by, you know? Yeah. And trying to live that moment the absolute best that you can, you know?
Yeah, because it just drains you otherwise to live.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that you're, I guess from my perspective, you want to make sure that you're living every moment. I don't really agree with the whole live every moment as if it were your last, because then every moment would be so extreme.
You know? I know when people say like YOLO or just, I mean, I agree to the whole point on like living your life with meaning and enjoying it. Yeah. But when they say like carpe diem, like carpe diem, like act as if like you're gonna die in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like if that,
dude, the world would be so berserk if everyone acted as
everyone
if like,
was about
today
to
was
die
your last day
in 5 minutes, dude.
How many laws would be broken? How many anything would be broken?
That's a bad day.
I would love to see that.
The Purge.
The Purge, Carpe edition, Carpe diem. Purge.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So I wouldn't say live your life every moment as if you're gonna die right in the next minute, but I would say live your life with the knowledge that anything can happen, right? Things that are gonna happen in the future, you don't really have any control over. You can write down, I'm gonna do this tomorrow, but at the end of the day, if you're driving to work and you get hit by a car, you can't really factor that in today, right? If that's gonna happen tomorrow,
because there's always extraneous variables, like things you can't count for.
So it's, you know, why would you worry about things, one, out of your control? And then two, why would you worry about things that happened in the past that you still can't control, right? Because they happened, so you can't go back in time and switch things around the way you want. So either way, you're stuck in a situation where you're worrying about things that you have no power over, you know? So the thinking aspect of it, or the worrying aspect of it, is going to take you completely out of what you should be doing. That's going to benefit both, because if you're doing good now, you're making up for perhaps bad things in the past, right? You're basically becoming better than you were yesterday, and then you're going to be better tomorrow than today, because you're focusing on good things today, right? And you're working hard today, and that's going to bleed into tomorrow. So you think by thinking about the future, thinking about the past, either one of them is going to change. But in reality, by not thinking about those two things and only thinking about what's in the moment, you're helping both those things, right?
Well, that's actually that's kind of a
trip, but it's true.
So that's a good point though, because this whole idea is, I think we said in the beginning too, like when you worry more and you fixate on making the time fly by faster, it just goes by slower. And what you're saying is a good point, which is basically, it's inevitable. You're going to have to go through it. So why not go through it being fully centered and focusing on this moment? Because not every moment is a bad moment. I think it's just the thought itself of anything upcoming is stressful.
Well, yeah.
But when you're actually there, like when you're actually going through it, you probably spent like a few minutes to a few hours in a time when you're actually perfectly okay, but you're just thinking about the thought of anything upcoming. So
because if you think about it, right? If I'm sitting down, have you ever just sat down and just thought for a few hours, just dreading something?
Right.
And
that's the worst thing too, when you stay still.
Yeah.
Because that just builds up.
Right.
You got to do something, like go on a walk or
if
something.
someone were to walk in and look at you, what you're actually doing is very peaceful. You're just sitting down. I mean, that's one of the most restful things a person can do. You're just sitting down.
But upstairs.
Right? But in your head, you're in utter turmoil.
It's like,
Yeah. So, you got to make sure that your brain and your body are, functioning as one sort of unit. If your brain's over here and your body's over here, you're not going to, be functioning right. You got to make sure that they're both on the same page.
Mm.
And the only way they're going to be on the same page is if your mind and body are in the moment doing, because only the mind can venture into the future and the past. The body can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So if your mind's over here, your body's like, what do I do? So it just sits down and you're like, okay, but if your mind's like, oh, okay, actually, we can't change what's happened in the past. We can't necessarily control every aspect of the future, so let's just focus on what we can do right now.
So be fully present.
Then your body's like, oh yeah, we can do that. So it's basically being present and making sure that your mind and your body are working as one unit, so that you're not
that is a good So not only have anchors, but be fully right now, like where you are right now. Hopefully right now it's whether it be good or bad.
It is what it is.
You just gotta focus on this moment right now and how you can make it the personal best it is for you. So that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good
I
point.
would say that.
Yeah.
But you said that you had. You said that.
Well,
you had
mine was pretty. It was just which kind of thing we kind of said it earlier, but it's just starting off your mornings, right, guys? Starting off your morning. It's mornings and the end of your days, right? So whether that be just having a good breakfast. Mm-hmm. Or getting a coffee in the mornings or from somewhere you like, or if it's nighttime, just treating yourself to a good day, celebrating. Because oh my gosh, that background, I'm looking at his computer and
I've never seen that before.
You've never seen that?
No. What the heck?
Okay, if you're those of you without context, I'm looking at the computer behind the camera and it's making a weird
it's like these weird waves.
That's weird. You never seen that before?
No, that's super cool.
Well, I mean, how long have you had that computer? For a while?
Yeah. You know what? It's not my proudest tech moment, but it's a thing.
So
I'm just gonna drink.
It's like finding out, my wireless keyboard, it can actually work with the computer.
No way.
But just that's I kind of drew that out, but that's just basically like starting your mornings off right, listening to good music, getting the good vibes, and what Adrian said, just like set a certain time before you start your day, like 5 minutes even. Who doesn't have 5 minutes before you start your day, and just like be still and just.
I mean, if you don't have 5 minutes, you're really late.
Then do 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Just start off with
3 minutes of fame. Let's go.
Yeah. Yes. 3 minutes of fame. Yeah. Just it's just something before you work or go whatever you're doing today. Just get your head right and just be clear of what your intentions are for today. Like today, I'm just gonna remain calm. I'm just gonna do my best and listen to music while you're doing it, and just go on. So that's really it.
Also, in the morning, I would say praying in the morning and at night. That does wonders for your conscience. That does wonders for your soul, because you're actually putting your thoughts, your information in God's hands at that point, and he's actually the one who controls the future, right? He's
kind of like what you said about writing it down, but giving it to him in prayer.
So I would say that if you pray I pray every morning before I head off to work, right? That helps. Sometimes I'll pray on my walk to work. I'll just thank God for, wow, this is a really nice day.
Wow. This is really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, God.
I mean, I'll just thank God for this day. I'll thank God for, like even something as simple as, hey, thanks for this nice warm day. Thanks for, I'm not cold walking to work today, right? That's a nice thing. Just little things like that, like you said.
The little thing.
Or today when I was walking through the creek, I was looking at the birds. I was like, wow, God, those are some beautiful birds you made, just
good job.
There's little stuff like that, just appreciating, not only being in the moment by doing things in the moment, but also just appreciating it.
Yeah, appreciation.
And then, at night, you obviously you pray for guidance, you pray for wisdom, and you pray for a better day tomorrow than you did today.
Yeah,
and you keep moving forward with it, because at the end of the day, you do what you can humanly possible, right? If we're talking about this from a biblical perspective, you do what you can humanly possible in all senses, but at the end of the day, you have to rely on God for the things you have no control over, right? I mean, there are certain things that you as a human you have to accept.
Is it finite or
finite?
Finite?
Yeah.
Finite. Yeah, finite,
finite
doesn't sound right.
Yeah, finite.
Finite. Yeah, I don't know why I thought finite.
Hey, bro, you finite?
Yeah, we're just finite beings, but that's a good point. That's a good point.
So it allows you to sort of humble yourself in a way and just say, you know what? I'm not the creator. I'm not the all-seer. So I'm just going to leave it to him in the aspects that I have no control over. And I'm going to do the best I can myself. And then those two are going to work in conjunction. And hopefully that brings forth a good day. If you're doing your part, God's doing his part. And it's just kind of working together in this nice union. So, I mean, I would say that praying in the morning and in the evening, and honestly anytime just throughout the day, that will allow your day to go by smoother because you're connecting with God throughout the day, and that's just going to kind of strengthen not only your mind and body but your spirit also. So
implementing those moments of prayer,
or reading some scripture in the morning, reading some scripture at night, something like that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Very, very spiritual. Yeah. I dig that.
Because we're Christians,
Well, kind of. Actually, just kidding. We are. I tried to make that sound cool, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah. Basically, without any acknowledging any cuts, because there were no cuts, because it was so smooth,
we don't
like Jamba. Hamba who said Jamba who? I'm sorry. I was doing so well.
You know what happened? It all went downhill when you were like, I was like, yeah, because we're Christians. And you're like, no, we're not. And then it just went.
Well, I know I said, oh, kinda. Doesn't mean we're not.
You know what, dude?
Kinda Christian.
You know what, dude?
I wear my sunglasses at night. Yeah, it's an old 80s song. I wear my sunglasses. Yeah, so that's Adrian. But yeah, basically we hit the key points. Basically, set anchors, have things to look forward to, and write it all down and be present and pray before you start anything, even on your way to work. We should do an episode about prayer in itself and how we pray. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, another thing I do also, just kind of as a quick thing in there, sometimes I'll listen to music on my way to work, and sometimes I'll just listen to the audio version of the Bible.
Audible.
Yeah, Audible. But
Audible. Yeah, Audible. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Like spiritual. Yeah, I get. So that fills your head before you go into your day.
Well, it's filling your head with all good things, So
right.
It's a good way to fill up spiritually,
Well, good things, like what if it's talking about like a really violent chapter like hell or
either way it's a good truth. Either way it's speaking the truth about those things, So you're getting a good dose on it.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather like go into work knowing, like having a verse that kind of applies to your setting?
Not really, because I mean, at the end of the day, even if you're going to work, you can still think on that good truth, and then it might kind of cause some curiosity later in the day. So you heard something kind of good in the morning. Okay. Like, hey, that's kind of interesting. So when you come home later that night.
I heard about Cain killing Abel.
Yeah. And then when you go home that night, you can listen to a sermon on it or something, just little things like that I do.
Okay, that's interesting. All right. Well, I guess it's just different for everybody in the situation. But that was it. Anchors, being present, praying, and starting your days and ending your nights off the right way. Ooh, ending your nights the right way. That
does sound a bit.
I didn't realize. Ending the night off.
With the intermission that we have. That just.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that intermission. Now we realize what it is.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You should cut it off like right. Did you cut it off like right when And like right when I like cut it out like right when I finished it, or add like grasshoppers.
Probably just gonna cut it off, I guess.
Either way, hope you guys enjoyed that intermission about Adrian's nose.
Yeah.
If that is his intermission,
That's
but that's our take on it. But we'd of course love to hear how you guys get through the week and how you guys kind of make your week better. I mean, these were just things that us just regular two Joes do. Of course, there's like a plethora of different ways. Plethora, like there's so many. I'm sure it's not that. Plethora is strong. I'm sure there's numerous different ways to make your week effective, or not effective, but how to be productive and how to grow throughout your week instead of just getting through it.
But I gotta ask, what's your weirdest work story?
Okay, I was thinking right now, like I wonder when he's gonna talk about a story. My weirdest work story is, I've seen pantsless kids, so that's in itself. But I want to hear your story because I feel like yours is gonna take more time.
It's really not
compared to mine. Mine's simpler, just pantsless kids. Your turn.
Mine was funny because I work at an elementary school.
Elementary school serving food.
Yeah, and so pretty much
with the shades on.
With my shades on?
Yeah, it's so weird. Okay, continue.
I'm just that cool.
And action.
But pretty much, what happens is, I have to roll out this huge cooler metal cart thing, and it squeaks and it moans.
Oh, well, I don't know if moans is...
Oh, it's the right word. If you hear this thing, that's what it sounds like. It does. And so, but here's the funny thing. I have to push it
That's
from...
the funny thing.
No. Oh, no. I have to push it from the kitchen that I work in, through the cafeteria, out the door, into the curb. But in the cafeteria, there are kids.
Right.
And...
because that's where they go to eat.
No. They're learning something right now. And this whole week was sex ed. And so I'm just pushing this cart. It's a completely dead silent room. They're just looking at a screen, reading stuff. And then all of a sudden, you just see me pushing this cart.
How loud is it?
It's loud enough to where it echoes.
Okay, can you make the sound for me? Because what kind of moan is it?
You know what? As much as I know
just
some people would like to hear it, there's no way I'm recreating that.
Just like, what's the closest thing you can do to recreating that sound?
Listen to a moan, and then that's what it sounds like. But there's different
kinds of moans.
Listen to the most moanest moan that you can think about.
How do you... Okay, we're not suggesting you go to YouTube and search up moans.
Listen,
moan compilation. We're just... I'm
not only are we not recommending that, we're dissuading you from that.
Because I want to know like what it sounded like, because maybe it didn't sound like a moan.
Listen,
okay. How do you know they learn about sex ed? And what part of sex ed? Maybe it's like the fertility part.
The fertility part?
Yeah, maybe
I think they were learning about rape and stuff like that.
Okay, well, okay, wait a minute. We don't learn about that stuff. When have we ever learned about rape?
Yeah, they talk about rape, sexual assault, and then unconsensual stuff.
Okay, but even when we learned about it, we didn't learn about the process. We just learned about the process of like.
Okay, let me just tell you.
The formation of.
Let me tell you.
Egg. We didn't learn about the process.
On the screen were the words, or the letters, I should say, R, A, P, and E. So I'm an English speaker, and that spells out something. Where do you get the N?
R-A-P-N-E.
N?
You said R-A-P-N-E.
And E.
Oh. Robney? I'm going to Robney you.
But yeah, I'm pushing this cart and it's just making all these weird squeaks and moan sounds, and I'm just pushing it through, and all the kids are just like holding in laughter.
Here's
it's the greatest thing.
Here's the thing. Like, they must be listening like on their headphones or something. Because they can't just be like...
What do you mean?
I'm sure like they don't want like a whole auditorium of kids like listening to a lecture about rape. Like they have to have like headphones in. Don't they have headphones?
No, there's an orator speaking about stuff.
Why are they in the cafeteria?
Because it's the whole thing with COVID. They have to separate. It's only like, how many kids is it? Maybe 20, and they're separated all 6 feet apart and stuff.
Not like not even like half the school.
No, not at all. But it's just funny.
Okay, so that was so what was your facial reaction as you were doing it? What were you doing?
Well, I was wearing a mask because it's mandated, but...
Of course, right.
But I was laughing.
You're like...
Sure.
So...
But the look on the lady's face who was speaking was even funnier, I think.
Wait, I thought it was online. I thought it was like on a computer.
Okay, let me break it down. I don't think it's resonating. So basically, there's a cafeteria, right? It's like a gym sort of a thing, almost like we had gym at our school where we play dodgeball. You know that?
Right.
So basically, it looks like that. There's a bunch of desks there. There are kids sitting at the desks. There's a big screen kind of on one side of the room, and there's someone speaking, and there's slideshows on the screen.
Okay.
So the person has a microphone. They're talking to all the kids and basically just doing all that stuff.
So it was a live speaker online?
No. The live speaker was live in person.
Oh, but I thought it was on the computer.
No.
So just a bunch of kids like listening to a speaker.
Yeah.
I thought you said on the screen it said rape.
Yeah, it did, because she's talking from a slideshow that's on the screen.
Oh, but
she's giving like a presentation. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like on their screen.
No.
Okay, well that's not that bad. I'm sure they don't even remember that.
No, it's not bad. It's just funny.
It's just funny.
It's just great.
You know what? You probably
and I got to do that twice too, to two different sets of kids.
Was the second time necessary? Or you just did it for fun?
Honestly, I was told where to push it.
You were like, Adrian, you forgot the food. You're like, oh, right. I'm pushing it for the food, right?
Yeah. And what's nice is because I'm wearing the mask, you can't see my facial features, which is kind of nice because, you know, I don't know how professional it would be if I was just laughing the whole time.
But you were laughing.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't have any other reaction.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I mean, okay, if you're pushing a cart, right, that's making all these crazy noises,
and
then there's kids learning sex ed right next to you.
Right. You would not.
What's your reaction?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Depending on the sound and
yeah, okay, but like
the temperature,
you're pushing
my clothing.
You know, dude.
I mean, I feel like I wouldn't.
You wouldn't be like, dude, this is kind of gold.
I feel like I wouldn't laugh. I would just be so in the moment of what I'm doing that I wouldn't even look at the kids.
So you would you like put your head down like, I'm so sorry?
Or I would just look at them and be like...
Just nod?
I don't know if I'd be laughing, though. I mean, of course it's different. I've never been there. You serve their food, so... I guess I'll just have to wait and see until I push a moaning cart.
Yeah.
But, that's interesting. I've never encountered something like that. That's a new addition to the Omnitrix.
Yeah, it's the
moaning cart
on
Ben 10. It's just a cart that has only abilities to moan.
I mean, that was, if you want to know my highlight working at my job so far, that was it.
Dude, that was it.
Yeah.
Have you?
Because it's so, like, if we've both gone through sex ed, it's boring. And so, you know.
Yeah, I think
you're sitting there and all these kids look bored out of their minds. And then all of a sudden I come in pushing this cart.
They're like, we know this stuff already.
And so they're just laughing about it. Yeah, it was funny.
Well, you know, a bunch of little pubescent children hearing a moan while learning about sex. I'm sure nothing could have happened.
Yeah, maybe I'm just immature.
Well,
but that was fun.
We are just kids, so I mean, imagine that's a cool story, Adrian. Thank you for sharing that with us.
You know what, Christian?
I can't wait to.
I'm glad I could bless your ears with that.
Thank you. Yeah, I really wish I could be there to hear that.
You know, these shades give me a different persona, man.
They do. I kind of forgot that you were wearing them.
You know,
But now you're wearing them, so there's no need to take it off. So just might as well just ride it through until the end. So yeah, let us know what you guys thought. We love to hear. Of course, these are just a few advice and things that we implement to make our week productive, at least a semblance of being productive and growing through it instead of being kind of a little sluggish about it. But just in the end, just remember, just keep figuring out what works for you, and everything is different for other people. I think we kind of said that in like last season on an episode where we were.
That's like, weird to say. Last season, I know, right? That's weird. Last
season we said something about figuring out what works for you, and that's it. Just figure out what works for you, but this is what works for us.
And so hopefully, it gives you some ideas, if anything else.
Yeah, and comment down below and reach out to us. Let us know if you guys like this episode.
Yeah.
What you guys want us to talk about in general, and if you guys have any advice that you want to share with other people, maybe we can disclose that in the next episode of what you guys said. But as always, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed our episode. Thank you guys for joining us again. Before we close off,
we do have the verse of the day.
Right.
So I'm gonna get that.
Adrian pulls up the Bible verse as I pull up my cup.
Your empty cup, I imagine.
My cup with the drip. in a cup.
Am I reading this with my shades on? Yes.
You are reading it because God thinks you're cool.
Huh. Let's see here. Okay, this is Job chapter 13 verses 15 through 17. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. But I will maintain mine own ways before him. He also shall be my salvation, for an hypocrite shall not come before him. Hear diligently my speech and my declaration with your ears. So, yeah, that's basically
that's
Job.
it.
Yeah, Job is
Doesn't longer.
going through his afflictions, as the book of Job kind of, that's the whole thing, right? If you know anything about the book of Job, he's going through some pretty hard times. And even in the midst of that hard time. Yeah.
Job, really? Job had like the easiest that ever.
Yeah, no, Job had it easy. But yeah, Job basically loses everything without cause, the Bible says, right? And so basically he's lost, what does he lose? He's lost all of his wealth, his wife's respect. He's lost 10 of his kids, which are all of his kids at this point.
Yeah.
And he's covered in boils and stuff like that. I mean, he's in physical
Like he's
pain.
at rock bottom.
Yeah, he's below the rock at this, but like the rock is on top of him. Like if you go to rock bottom, he's under the rock.
Like the rock is doing better. The rock
is doing better than Job. And so, nice.
Whoa.
But basically, even with all of this happening, which is probably a pain and suffering none of us will ever come close to experiencing, he says, hey, even if God would kill me right now, I would still trust in him. So that's basically the Christian attitude even if God himself kills me, I'm still going to trust him. And I'm still going to follow him.
That just shows like no matter what, even in the worst of the worst,
you're still
knowing where to place your faith.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's cool. Good job, Job.
So even if your week sucks because you have an essay due, just know you haven't lost 10 of your kids.
God is still for you.
And all that stuff.
What was Job's full name? Esther?
Job.
Just Job?
Esther.
Remember, I don't know where I heard that.
Esther's the queen in the Bible.
Oh, I thought she was the prostitute.
No.
Well,
No, she was the queen.
I was thinking of someone else. Oh, well. Yeah, yeah, I just remember that one episode where we were like, Angry Birds Job. Oh, wait, that wasn't even an episode. That was like when we had the TV episode.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I forgot what that was about.
Me too.
We were playing a video. Remember that?
Yeah, no, I do.
I remember. I forgot what we were doing.
Angry Birds Job.
Remember that?
It was our first episode-ish thing. Well, like it was...
Oh, like a test?
We recorded it on your phone, I think.
Yeah, it was like a test, though.
Yeah. That was weird.
Yeah, that I think we made a lot of progress since then.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what we were talking about. If it was in English, even. But
yeah, it was actually pretty Mandarin to me.
That sounded pretty
times.
Pig Latin. That was our ep. Adrian,
yeah, that's our episode.
That was a good Bible verse. Job 3:15.
Job 13, 15 through 17.
Through 17. Okay, that was it. Are you gonna put it up again, or was it?
Yeah, I always put it up.
Okay, good. Okay, because I was looking like, whoa, it's gonna look cool. But that was our verse of the day. Again, our Instagrams. It's usually in the description. Right?
It's always
unless
in the
you
description.
change. Yeah, because
I mean, if you want to,
right? Christian,
can.
Caito, and Adrian Kiswani.
Oh, also we have now on Instagram an actual Art of Awesomeness.
Yes,
dedicated
we do.
Instagram.
So
if
check that out.
you just think that we're not cool and you just want to follow our podcast Instagram account, go ahead and do that.
Follow it before it blows up, definitely. Because
for sure.
I think we're in the makings of something huge.
Yeah,
It's gonna take us. I bet by episode 286, we're gonna be big.
Joe Rogan,
Who's Joe Rogan? The bald military guy.
He was not in the military.
The bald but buff guy.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
So, by episode 286, we're going to be big, so you better hop on that opportunities. But
actually, I'm going to hold you to that. 286?
286.
286.
I just have a good feeling
Mark
about
our
that.
words.
286. Because I feel like when people talk about their success stories, like, it took us like, good thing.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, guys. One last thing I want to mention. The thing being that when people talk about success stories, they say it didn't take us a few episodes. It took us like 200. Like they say something in the hundreds. I feel like it's never the thousands.
Yeah, it's always like, the first 2 years were nothing. And then it happened.
Like it took us like several like long episodes. Like,
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's like if we're telling our story, like 286 episodes.
286.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now it's on the internet, so I mean, if we don't,
no, we have to hold up to it.
Yeah, we gotta.
Well,
but we're not gonna worry about that.
Right, because we're focusing on the present moment.
Yeah. I'm gonna be thinking about that
Me
tonight.
too.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Yep.
Well,
that's why
we need a
alone.
podcast for us. Somebody just make a podcast for us,
please.
Because we do so much for y'all. I can't take this anymore. That was our episode, guys.
Just quit right here and now.
Our Instagrams are down below. Christian Caito, Adrian Kiswani, and our new Instagram,
names. The Art of Awesomeness.
Which is funny because isn't it the same? It's like the Art of Awesomeness, like Christian Caito and Adrian Kiswani, all lowercase, one word.
Yeah.
So is
the Art of Awesomeness. Yeah.
That's so we're making a trend now, which is cool because I think when we do make it big, it's gonna be easy to search us up.
Yeah. You know what's nice is that I mean I don't really use like Twitter for example. Yeah. I never use it, but I made a Twitter account that's Adrian Kiswani. So just in case anyone ever wants to act like me, I can say, haha, you know.
I got there. Got you.
I got you, boy.
I got you.
Gotcha, boy.
So that's gotcha, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our episode. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Reach out to us. Everything will be down below. So is our email.
If you don't reach out to us, the next time you take a sip of your favorite drink, it will taste like water.
Oh, that too.
Actually, you know what? My favorite drink is water, so you know what?
So Adrian clearly just roasted himself again.
I roasted myself on YouTube.
We have a new look to the channel now. Everything, the website will be down there too. You can find all our episodes and much more things like the gallery and our friends on there if you want to check them out. And hopefully soon we can get more interviews. And let us know also if you want to be on it or if you want to recommend anybody or want us to reach out to anybody that you think could be good on this show.
Yeah, we do want to have more people on this podcast. Obviously, we were doing the Zooms for the beginning of the season. Right. But now we're going to be doing it more like this.
It's going to be different. We have some stuff in the works.
Yeah, we got some stuff. So stay tuned for sure.
Yeah, so anything, reach out to us. Let us know. Ideas, people you want us to meet with, concepts, everything. We're open. This is for you guys. And just thank you guys for listening. Because this is all for you.
Yeah.
For you. Yeah. Okay, so any last words? So is that the last word? What's the last thing you want them to hear?
That was cool.
That's from Ferris Bueller.
Ha.
Is that the last thing you want them to hear?
I really hope not.
So what's the last thing you want them to hear?
Everyone listen close, okay?
Okay.
Just listen
and
close.
Action.
Whoa.
Go.
Whoa, don't rush me, bro. I need the time. Ready?
I'm waiting.
No, are you ready though?
I'm waiting because I'm ready.
But I know you're waiting, but you're ready though?
And action.
But
they're on their feet right now. They're like, unless you already cut it. Unless you cut it already.
No, but you're waiting though, right?
Did you cut it already?
No.
Okay.
You're waiting, right?
Okay, yeah. Unless you already cut it, then I'm not waiting.
You know I didn't cut it.
Okay. Well, if you did cut it, then I'm...
But
okay.
You know I didn't cut it.
All right. Okay. Then what is it?